Welcome to this free immigration help channel. In this video I wanted to talk about the extension of stay and the most popular, the most asked question that I get on my channel regarding the extension of stay. And as you can see, I have USCIS.gov website open in front of me. This is the official US Citizenship and Immigration Services website. This is where I get all of my information whenever it comes to the immigration related issues, whether you're non-immigrant status or immigrant status, you started your immigration case. All of the information is coming from the official USCIS.gov website, and I highly recommend, if you're watching this video, a few months, a year from the upload date, I highly recommend you verifying all of the information here. So I'm going to open the actual form, and all of the forms can be found here in the forms, all forms. And I'm going to open the actual form for the extension of stay. And actually, it's not just the extension of stay, it is also to change your non-immigrant status. So for example, if you came into the country on a B1, B2 non-immigrant visa, and let's say you applied for some kind of educational facility, for some school, and you became a student, this is the form that you will be filing in order to change your status, and also by definition also extending. Because for example, if you came into the country and you had your stay entry visa for let's say 6 months, you've been here for 5 months, you got into the school, obviously you're not only changing your status, you're also extending your status. So by that definition, it's really extension of stay and sometimes change of stay. So the question that I get on this channel the most, especially now, and I'll explain why, is sounds basically something like this. I filed for my extension of stay, I-539 form. I filed it online, or I filed it in a paper application form. We'll talk about it in a little bit more detail later. Now I'm waiting, but my stay here ends in a month, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or it already expired. We will talk about all of these different scenarios, but most of the times it's my stay ends in a month. What should I do? And to explain the situation in better detail, let's make an example. John Doe, right? Coming from Brazil, for example, on a visa, B1, B2 visa, visitor, tourist. He comes into the United States through a port of entry, let's say New York, flying in through New York. And in New York, when he passes the border, customs, he gets a stay for 6 months, which is usually the case. So he's here for 5 months, and I mean, it's not too hard to imagine with current situation, what's going on in the world, with this whole COVID and all of that sort of stuff. His flight back to the country was canceled, and he just cannot leave the country. He's staying here in this country, in the United States. In a month, his stay is expiring, so he filed for the extension of stay, and now he's waiting. He has only 1 month left. His extension of stay is pending. 3 weeks left, still pending. 2 weeks left, still pending. What should he do? And this is the most asked question on this channel. Okay, so to answer this question as best of my abilities as I can, here's 2 options for you. And I always say it, when I address this question, this is what I always give. I wanted to make this video so that if you are looking for that, you don't have to wait for my response in the comments on this channel, but you can actually watch this video and get that answer. If that's the case with you, there are 2 options. If you can go back to your country, or just leave the United States, if you can leave the United States without waiting until your stay expires, without waiting for your extension, if there is such an option, do it. Do not wait for extension. Do not take that risk. Because at the end of the day, yes, most of the times, most likely, especially these days, your extension of stay will be approved. It's just another question is how long it's gonna take. And it's really hard to answer it these days because there is unusually high amount of these applications for extension of non-immigrant status are filed. So if before it took about a month and a half, maybe 2 months sometimes, now I know some people that have been waiting for 4 months already and it's still in the air. Okay, so if you can go back, if you can leave the United States without relying, without taking the risk of possibly, maybe, there's always a chance that you are denied. And if you are denied, if you stayed here, if you overstayed, and your application to extend is denied, then you're in big trouble. So not to put yourself in the situation, if you can leave the country, then do it. Do it always on the safer side. Don't take unnecessary risk. This is my personal advice. It's not legal advice. It's not any kind of, it's just from the experience, from dealing with this for the past almost 14 years now. So I've seen a lot of different cases. I've seen a lot of, people going through immigration process, non-immigrant status, immigrant status, whatever, different kind of cases. But this is just the conclusion, basically, something that I would recommend to a friend, something that I would recommend to my relative, to my parents, to my siblings. This is what I would say. Option 2. This one is if you have absolutely no other choice. Like a lot of people today, their flights have been canceled. They cannot enter their country because they need some kind of quarantine. They need some kind of whatever medical procedure that needs to be done. I don't know, whatever. There's a lot of different cases. Or maybe there's war going on. Crazy world we live in today. If that is the case, obviously you don't really have any more options but to be here and to wait for your extension to be approved, or just in general the answer on your extension application. Obviously you don't really have any choices. But if you have an option to go back, do not wait for your extension to be approved, because there is a chance that it might be denied. And if it is denied and you overstay the stay, now you're in trouble, because when you will be leaving the country, you will get a stamp in your passport saying that you overstayed what you were allowed to stay in this country. And next time, if you're trying to get the visa or if you're trying to enter the country, it's gonna be problematic, to say the least. Okay, now with that logic, with what I described now, obviously you can apply it to different scenarios, right? Let's say you have 3 months before your visa expires. Apply for the extension as soon as possible. Even if you think maybe I will leave in 2 months, still apply for the extension just in case, just to be on the safe side. Now, if you have 2 weeks left for your stay, again, apply for your extension just to be on the safe side, because it is better to apply for the extension before your stay expires rather than after it expires. Again, it plays a huge role in determining for USCIS, for the Customs Border Protection, next time you will be traveling, next time you will be coming into the country, or next time you will be trying to get a visa to the United States, whether they will approve it or not. Because they will look and say, okay, so, well, yeah, you overstayed your initial stay, but you applied before your stay expired, you applied for the non-immigrant extension visa, status extension, and it was approved, so you were fine, no problems. Compared to you overstayed and then you decide to apply for the extension. See, that is a little bit problematic. So hopefully this video answers that question. If you do have still any questions, go ahead, ask them in the comments below. If you found this video useful, please consider supporting this channel with a super like. This is how this channel is operating. This is how we are surviving out here. Thank you very much for all the support. We've been getting a lot of support from you guys, so we really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. And like I said, if you have any questions, ask them in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next video.